slight delay of getting started here. Important information right now, the number 25 of Thomas Bresci on pole right now. These guys getting ready to go green here tonight in the booth. I'm Brandon Krutz. We got Corey Silva. Once again, we apologize for the delay, folks. Hardline Racing League about to go green here.
Yeah, we're bringing it right to the action with no delay here. Well, actually, with a little bit of delay, so we're not going to get you a starting lineup, but you'll be able to see it as these drivers come by. And the green flag will be coming out momentarily. As these drivers come off turn number 4, we have the 25 car of Thomas Bresci on the pole here, waiting for that green flag here at Gateway Motorsports Park, and there it is. On the green flag, on the loud pedal is Bresci with the 38 machine of Shane Tarrant to the outside, and they're going to be side by side in Greenwell turn 1. No, they're not. Thomas Bresci is already out to a good sized lead.
They're side by side off the corner for that second position. Teammates pushing each other through the corners, but they're matching pace schemes here. Looks good and professional out there. You got 4 of them running top 4 actually right now.
There we go, 3 wide through turns 3 and 4 here. I don't know how well that was going to work, but these guys did manage to make do there. Impressive driving there. Not a track that you do expect or want to see 3 wide racing on.
So Bresci's going to have a ton of the same teammates coming after him now. That should be interesting in his rear view. A little bit back in the pack, we got Bradley Wilson out there in the 83 car trying to gain positions. He's on the low side making it work.
The 83 machine, as you said, Bradley Wilson, he just passed by Corey Blevins, and he also has a 74. Timothy Moore behind him in the 7th position. Bradley Wilson is here. You can see varying lines already going on here at the Gateway Motorsports Park. It's almost as if this is a flat Darlington many refer it to, as 3 and 4 is very long and kind of wider, and 1 and 2 is higher banked at a very sharp turn.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey, and you know, these guys making the multi-group work as we almost have the 2 truck into the wall there right next to the 83 truck, going for another position there. These guys really make the multiple groups work. I've already seen the second lane being used a couple times to make a pass here tonight, and I only expect that to get better.
Yeah, on top of 1 and 2 having more banking, it is actually it's variably banked. The bottom line is flatter. You're going to see more banking in the middle and upper groups, which we'll see drivers testing that out by running that line more, I believe, than they will the other line.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey, and it's a tires thing. You know, the wider line on the outside here may conserve just a little bit more tire than the inside line. We got to push a little bit harder.
As you said, it's all about tire wear. These guys, if this race does go green, which it may, it's a track that is conducive to green flag runs. These guys are really going to have to focus on that pit strategy and making sure that if they need to stay up in front, they need to have fresh tires so they can keep control of the trucks.
Don't look now, Corey. The 14 truck right up there battling the 25 for the lead. These guys getting ready to go side by side, and they do down the back straightaway.
14 of Fendelson and the 25 of Bresci side by side in the turn 3 as we take lap number 6, headed towards lap number 7. Seems to be a pretty uncontested pass. Move Michael Fendelson to the lead.
The Evil Motorsports guys really running a freight train on Bresci right now. Just kind of the lone car out there, it looks like, with all these guys coming up behind him.
That there is, as we see the 74 machine of Timothy Moore making some progress here. Trying to get by Corey Blevins, and then 3 wide also with the 2 machine of Jonathan Wall. That quickly settles out as these drivers kind of settle themselves in, realizing 3 wide may not be your best bet on lap number 7.
The 46 truck, where did he come from? I didn't see him before, probably starting around the back of the pack. He's trying to gain some positions off these guys as well.
If you do remember, he did win our race at the, I want to say the Kentucky Speedway, did Tyler Hensley in that 46 machine. See these guys getting really racy here and a little squirrely there off some of these turns.
Caution flag on the speedway. Caution flies here. Let's see who it is. The 81 truck, Corey, is off in the grass down the back straightaway.
That is Patrick McClure. Let's go back here on a replay and see what happened to him. Team here coming through turns number 1 and 2 completely by himself right on that low line.
The rear end steps out on him.
What he was doing is he was kind of straddling that seam, it looks like. And that seam is not easy to run with the transition and banking that it does provide you.
It looked like he was into the wall once already, Corey, and a little bit of scrapes on the side of that truck. Maybe just not having a good night tonight so far. Well, so your leaders coming down Pit Road, what do you expect to see on these pit stops, Corey?
I expect foreign fuel every time. Something worth noting here at the Gateway Motorsports Park. You are required to take the pit entry lane through turns 3 and 4. However, you're not required to stay on it. You will see some drivers faking as they get to turn 4 and pulling back onto the racetrack.
Yeah, it should be really interesting. See some of these pit strategies tonight, Corey. You know, these guys really like to play some games here. A little bit harder to do that at Gateway with different pit strategies without falling off the pace, because tire wear really is bad here. But, you know, maybe some guys will be able to pull it off here tonight.
Yeah, and I do expect eventually, as this race settles in and these guys kind of get the feel of their vehicles, I do expect to see some green flag running and some green flag stops. So these guys will have to make sure they have the freshest rubber available and that they are saving their tires.
So Casey Shue stayed out to lead a lap. He will duck into pit road this time, leaving the lead back to, looks like the 38 truck, possibly taking 2 tires, Corey?
We go here on my graphic, the 38 machine of Shane Tarrant, yes, with a 7.5 second stop on my pit watch here. So some strategy going on here in the early stages.
That should be an interesting start. These guys don't have many laps logged. What is this, 80 lap race, Corey, tonight?
Yes,
so not too long of a race. These guys already 11 laps in. So possibly some interesting strategy going on for that 38 team.
Whether it be strategy or whether it just be a track position flaw. Sometimes it's hard to get it, so even if he takes those older tires, or stays out on those older left side tires, he still might be able to prevail on the long run. You never know.
Yeah, he was back in the 5th position before pit stops, Corey, so maybe some track position attempting to be gained here. We know how hard it is to pass.
That it is, so we will have to see how these guys are able to fare. Let's see, do we still have lights on the pace car? Yes, we do, so it'll be at least one more trip around this Gateway Motorsports Park, which, those who don't know, is soon going to be hosting the IndyCar series here in real life, which they used to. It'd be nice to see them back.
Gateway Motorsports Park in real life going through a huge repave just for the IndyCar series. They wanted to make sure everything was good for them. So hashtag soon iRacing, hashtag soon.
How that game goes. But we'll be doubling them up this time by, and we will take the green on lap number 13. And we'll see who's gonna prevail here, whether it be the older tires or the newer tires. I kind of have my bet as to what I'm expecting, but we'll have to see how it plays out in reality.
So lights on the pace car are out. These guys ready to go back racing green, and hopefully we can log some green flag laps in this time. Get a little bit closer close to the end of this thing. Obviously, about 80 laps, not too much racing here tonight for these guys, but makes it interesting.
It's a short race in terms of laps, but the Gateway Motorsports Park does take a long time to perform laps, so it can still take a good amount of time, but as we wait for these guys to get that green flag here, coming off turn 4, and there it is, green flag, back on the speedway here at Gateway.
Side by side for the lead, going down into turns 1 and 2. How long will it last? And the 14 holds pretty strong on the outside so far. Remember, the 38's on 2 tires, and the 14 of Fenelson comes out in the lead after that one. 25 gets blocked in, has nowhere to go between the 12 and the 38 car. 38 truck of Shane Barrett is falling back pretty fast.
There he is, yeah, those older tires are not seeming to prevail right now as he's back in the 3rd position as Walker Thomas moves the 12 machine into position number 2 as we enter turns number 1 and 2. You'll see the 38 kind of going low, going to the high line, kind of cut off the nose there of Bressie, whether intentional or not. Risky move. Luckily, Bressie noticed it and was able to back off to avoid contact.
Yeah, definitely shut the door there on the 25 machine. I'm sure he didn't quite appreciate that one, but he's right on the back bumper once again.
Yeah, maybe those older tires, even though he maybe just didn't get that start he needed, maybe he is going to be able to make do with those left side tires if he goes for the 2nd position here. Not quite, but here comes Bressie trying to take another look, but that's not going to materialize.
No, Bressie's able to get the run off the corners that he needs to, but the door keeps being shut, Corey. He has nowhere to put it.
Any track, as we know, any track that requires heavy braking, it kind of takes 2 different approaches. You can either take that more aggressive entry and maybe sacrifice your corner exit, or vice versa, where you can back up your entry and maybe prevail on exit. Seems like we've had varying strategies on both sides of it.
Tyler Hensley in the 46 machine making his way up to the field. He's looking to crack the top 5 here pretty soon. He's up to 6th place.
Yeah, as we said, he did win a race so far in our primetime broadcast of this week, so we know he is a fast machine currently running in as we said, the 6th position is he. So still in contention is Tyler Hensley.
Looking further back, the 74 machine of Timothy Moore losing some positions here. He was just passed by the 46 and now gets passed by the 83 of Wilson.
Perhaps not the night for that McDonald's machine that he's looking for, but again, we are not even 25% of the way through in this race, so anything's possible, but it is looking to spread out now, so this may be that green flag run some of these guys were looking for at least.
So the 14 of Fenelson up to a pretty solid lead so far, Corey. No one's really pulling away or gaining up front. Top 3 running pretty consistent right now. Thomas Bressie is on his way, though, in that 25 truck. He's the one gaining time right now.
We'll go on our primetime battle graphic. Compared the 38 to the 25 as of last time by, Bressie was about a tenth and a half faster. Let's compare this time by. It looks like, taking a moment to update, but it looks like no, Shane Tarrant was actually a tenth faster that time, so these guys are kind of stabilizing on their lap times a little bit. Kind of almost taking one back and forth. I'll be faster with it this lap, you'll be faster the next lap.
There are so many Evil Sky Motorsports trucks in this field tonight, Corey. It's kind of hard to miss them all.
That team battle's going on here. See which of these drivers is going to be the one to prevail out of them.
So I am really surprised, though, by how the 38 has been able to hold that position up there, actually gaining time on the 12 machine now, right just about right up to the back bumper of Walker Thomas. And I'm thoroughly impressed by that call from the 12 team, or the 38 team.
38 that time by on our primetime battle graphic had about 2/10 better lap time than Walker Thomas. So who knows? Maybe that's the call. I mean, we've been wrong before. We've been surprised before. Maybe that's the call. I don't know exactly how these machines are driving. I didn't get any laps out there myself today. But there are certain tracks where if you are really tight in your setup, I mean, 2 tires will loosen you up. Sometimes it'll loosen you up too much. Sometimes it's just exactly what you need. Maybe that's the case.
Yeah, maybe so, but if these guys end up getting a caution later in this race, he could be in trouble. If his setup is a bit too tight, Corey, he'll eventually have to save 4 tires, I would think.
Yeah, I think at the point we are at now, I think everybody's going to take 2 tires. So maybe, I don't know, let's kind of pull up the graphic here. We'll see about where he was running on the last run. It was the 38 of Taryn. He was running on the 5th position. That was his lowest position in this race thus far. So these 2 tires have already gained him 2 positions net in this race. So he might take 4 tires and be right in contention. That strategy gained him 2 spots. So it looks like it was a positive call.
Oh, 38 clips the wall just a little bit going down the back straightaway. That little opening that sticks out there, Corey. Nothing major, but he's got to be a little bit more careful going down that straightaway.
Yeah, it's caught a few drivers out. That's caused some incidents in races past here at this race speedway. And as long as that's still there, it continuously will. You go back in the pack a little bit here. We're watching Patrick McLaurin in a battle with the 2 of Jonathan Wall, and a little bit ahead of him is the 54 of Baron Labosco here. Got a 4-car battle from the 9th position to about the 11th position going on.
No one's close enough to make a move yet in that little pack they got going on, but everyone is right there waiting for someone to make a mistake, so that way the other one can pounce. Kind of a game of chasing cat and mouse here, Corey. These guys just nose to tail right now.
Yeah, they are nose to tail racing. And here we are. Looks like McLaurin's trying to take a higher line there on the 2 of Wall. Didn't really prevail, but he did give it that effort there.
The 2 pulls down to the inside. Possibly 2 cars pitting, Corey. 2 cars pitting.
And this is lap 25. I do show 2 pit stops on the watch so far for the 2 machine and some right side damage. Not quite sure what the call was for this time. Maybe we can watch him here and see what he is exactly doing. Maybe it's a stroke. He's taking it behind the wall.
So he packs it up. He is done for the night. Jonathan Wall out of this race. Wow.
Well, starting podcast, if you will. Old school days, don't see that very often anymore, but obviously something went on, whether personal or mechanical, so take the number 2 machine out of this race. And as we go back up front here, we were talking about Shane Tarrant closing in on Walker Thomas. That gap has grew to about 0.8 of a second. And that gap, same exact gap, is separating your first and second place positions here. So everyone's kind of in their own little bubble here on the racetrack.
Well, Thomas Bresci fell back, and he's got a huge group of guys behind him. He's got 3 trucks.
Oh, my goodness.
To get around him.
Yeah, you are not kidding there. We have Robert Kenny, we have Tyler Hensley, we have Bradley Wilson, and we have the 83. Oh, Bradley Wilson is the 83. But yeah, regardless, those 4 drivers here are all going for the 4th position here. I wonder if the 25 is the slow chain of the bunch here that's holding these guys up.
Yeah, I don't know if he used up his stuff a little bit too early in that run there, Corey, or what, but these guys that were able to hold back and save some of their stuff a little bit more are right on his back bumper looking to make a move. 10 car looks, 25 pulls out just a little bit, and they don't want any trouble going down the front straightaway.
Looks like the 25, he did get a decent run there off of turn number 4, and that kind of gave him a little bit of buffer, about a 1/10 and a half, 2/10 of buffer. Got a really good run off the 2. I wonder if he's kind of overheated his stuff, and now he's all right, because now he's pulling away, but you can see the 10 surge and the 46 looking underneath him now.
Yeah, the 46 of Tyler Hensley looking underneath the 10 car of Robert Kenny. And so these guys look to go side by side. 10 car gets better on the high side.
Something that we did mention about the Gateway Motorsports Park is the outside has that little more banking, especially in 1 and 2. You can kind of see the 10, we call it diamonding the turn, where you'll enter down low, you drift up in the center, and then you cut down on exit to get a straight run off the turn, maximizing your straightaway speed. It's a very good technique, one that the 10 seems to be using.
He entered with a higher line that time, allows the 46 truck to sneak underneath him, and it's almost made contact there going down the front straightaway. They settle it out though, 46 still underneath the 10 truck.
This must be frustrating for the number 46 machine of Hensley, because you can tell he is a faster machine, but the 10 is using the racetrack to his advantage, where he knows the 46 is going to have trouble passing due to the nature of the turns here.
Oh, and again, Corey, we were talking about this earlier. We know how hard it is to pass here. There are really 2 grooves, but once you get side by side, there's really nothing that can be done. You're normally pretty even.
Yeah, especially on these older tires, holding that bottom line is even that much harder than it would have been at an early point in the race. But he did get a really good run through 1 and 2, but he's not going to get the exit. And now the 83 Bradley Wilson, he's in a position of what does he do? He's going to try to make a move to the inside now.
Yeah, the 83 tried looking underneath. Nothing can be done there, and they end up in the same order that they were when they started that whole battle.
All of this is just allowing the number 25 of Bressie to sneak out here. Bressie has accumulated now a second lead on these guys, as he's running about a 1/10 of a second faster while they are battling.
So these guys end up staying single file now, going down the back straightaway. I'm looking to see if there are any more battles. Oh, the 99 is around, going down the back straightaway. The 99 is around, no caution, but something happened to him.
Now let's go back here on replay while we have the time under green. And
he was really trying to save that thing through the whole corner, Corey.
Looks like he just got really low, and then it was just, he had it saved, but I think maybe it was the banking transition exiting the turn, maybe unstable the machine, and a little calm, selfless spin on the back straightaway of no significance other than lost time. Watch him pull down pit road here as we're back live, and hopefully it's just a 4-tire change and he's back out there. Hopefully he's not going to pull out of his race, but he has no damage, so I don't see why he would. But the 2 also surprises, so the 99 of Blevins on pit lane. I see right side, tires up in the air. This will put him 1 lap down. Right now there are no machines on track that are a lap down, so all it'll take is a caution, and he will most likely get the left guy. I don't see the left side's going in the air. Unless they already did, he's getting damage fixed.
Now I'm looking now, Corey, the 38 truck on those 2 tires managed to take 2nd place. He gets loose. The 12 was going to look under him now once again. These guys go side by side on the back straightaway.
Yep, here it comes. Walker Thomas and Shane Tarrant in that 38. Thomas just dives it into 3, and he's able to make it stick, perhaps those left side tires to his advantage there. But in the making of this battle that may have just completed itself is a 1.6-second deficit to your leader.
Yeah, the 38 truck had that 2nd position. They got really loose exiting corner number 2, and utterly just gave up that position.
So down the back straightaway, let's see if Thomas is able to prevail or if the 38 is going to make another go at it. Again, we have to remember that he has about 10 laps older tires on those left sides, does the 38 machine. But as I'm watching the scoring graphic here, these guys are starting to close on the 14 machine. I can see a 3/10 difference in about the last lap or 2. Every time I try doing this, a caution comes out, but I'm going to go for it. Let's go on board 38 machine of Shane Tanner. Watch him. No, I'm not going to. There's a battle. See, told you. Every time I try to go on board, something happens, and what happened is a pass right there for the second position. Move up and fit up with 38, but I don't think the 12 is going to play dead. Can he get a run off turn 4? Not that time by, but let's see what happens as these drivers enter turns number 1 and 2.
Yeah, 38 pulls ahead, and I think he can hold that position this time as long as he keeps that truck under control. Last time this happened, he got really loose and gave up that second position. As these guys battle, the 14 truck is just walking away with this race right now, Corey.
It seems as if they can get settled, I feel like, well, at least one of them may be on pace, or if not a little bit faster than the 14, but with all the battling, they're just costing themselves tenths after tenths that it's going to be really hard to recover from.
Now, one thing we didn't discuss, for those of you who are not a member of iRacing or don't really follow NASCAR too much, there is a lot of downshifting in the third gear that happens at this racetrack. Some guys only do it through turn 1. Some guys do it through turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So, you know, a lot of variation here. If you see guys get loose, it's probably ending up from wheel spin.
We'll actually go on board here with the number 38 machine, and we can pull up the RPM, see if he's shifting on both ends here. As we're entering turns 1 and 2, yes, I see a downshift there. As you can see, he's down to 7,000 in third gear. Through 1 and 2, fighting the car on exit, or truck, excuse me. Heads down the back straightaway. To the almost red lines, it gets a good amount of RPMs there, runs that higher line. Yep, and there goes that downshift you spoke of, and now he's going to have to feather it and try not to get too much wheel spin and get the truck loose off exit, and it seems like he did a pretty good job of it.
So yeah, a lot of downshifting happens at this track, and not uncommon to see pulling engines at this racetrack because of it.
You can see from our aerial cam, I didn't even know there was a go-kart track in the middle here. That's interesting. But as I get distracted quite easily, we are right past the halfway point in this race. We're on lap number 42, so we've 2 laps eclipsed the halfway point, and Fenlison is out to a 1-second lead. And just worth noting, as I said before, that second lead was running 1.6. These guys are closing on him, and he is also closing on the back half of the field.
He did have to make his way around the number 20 of Kyle Zimmer, so maybe that had something to do with it. But 14 gets really loose going on off turn number 2, almost hits the wall down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful here. Something worth noting here, the 99 machine of Blevins is still on pit lane, as well as the 29 of Cody Tabor. 2 guys we haven't really talked about, but are on pit lane. Not quite sure what's going on with them, but just worth noting.
So these guys, looking at it visually, I don't have any of those fancy graphics in front of me, Corey, but it looks like the 38 is really starting to catch the 14 right now.
Pull up our primetime battle graphic. Last time by, Fenlison had him by about half of a hundredth. Well, excuse me, half of a tenth if I knew how to do math. But let's just go and see this time by what's going on. This time by, I think we actually have a pit stop going on. That we do. The 38 of Shane Tarrant he's down pit road for what I have to imagine to be a scheduled green flag pit stop.
So let's see what the call will be for these guys. Give us a little bit of a reference to see what some of the other guys may or may not do. So, obviously, the right side of that truck going up. And he takes 4 tires on this stop, just as I had predicted. I didn't expect any 2 tires this late in the race.
And also worth noting, these drivers do have to follow that pit access road entirely off of turns 1 and 2 here. It's tight and flat and very dusty, so it's not as easy as it is. It's very easy to overdrive it and maybe even spin while exiting the pits. 25 of Bresci on pit lane, 20 of Zimmer. Zimmer is a lap down, but 25, he was running in the 3rd position, and he's on that access road. So now it's a matter of when does Fenlison come down? Actually, we missed it. He's already on pit lane now, so be interesting to see how it shakes out if there's a lead change due to these pit stops, or if Emerson is able to stay on the track ahead of Shane Tarrant.
46 truck looking, I think. Yep, 46 truck coming in this time by, so he will be the last truck that has to make their pit stops. And right now, that passes the lead over.
Well, right now the 14 is coming out of pit lane right now, and Shane Tarrant is just entering turn 1. So let's see if these guys merge together off of turn 1 and 2. Gonna be, I think the 14 is still gonna prevail. Yeah, the 14 is going to gain about half back straightaway lead now. So he must have had a much better pit stop or a combination of pit road entry and exit. But yeah, give the 14 a much bigger lead than he had on the beginning of that pit stop.
So I think everything cycles through now. 14 being scored in second. Who do we have left out on the racetrack?
I believe the 14 of Hensley, 46 of Hensley is into clear the scoring group. After he,
okay.
Right now Hensley is on the back straightaway. Once he hits the start finish line this time by, we should get our reflective order properly. Be able to see what the gap is. I'm curious. It was about a second before that pit stop, maybe 1.1 seconds. And now it's pushing 2, so 1 second gain there on pit road for Fenelson. So good job on his part. But on the racetrack, the 38 seemed to be a little bit faster. So I wonder if that gap is going to go down, or we'll just have to see here. We have pushing 30 laps to go here at Gateway on Primetime Racing TV. A little bit of a late start. We do apologize. I don't know what's going on with Wednesdays, but they haven't really panned out lucky for us in the broadcast booth. But luckily we haven't had any interruptions tonight with issues with the stream like we had last week. So we're hoping you guys are enjoying the stream. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so and help us out here. But getting back to the race, about a 2-second lead for the number 14 of Fenelson, and we soon to have a battle for second going on.
Yeah, battle for second place. The 12 truck was right on the rear bumper of the 38s. Not so much the case anymore. 38 looks to be pulling away just a little bit.
Saw the 12 of Walker Thomas. I mean, I know these guys are playing around with lines, but he was really playing around with lines there. He was extremely high on the track in 3 and 4, and watch these guys pushing the third lane here in turns 1 and 2. I haven't seen that yet.
No, but these guys seemingly are making it work here tonight. Something that I don't think I've ever seen here at Gateway personally. But these guys really using a ton of different lines here. 38 truck now trying the same line as 12.
That's a little bit of the dynamic track again. If you guys aren't familiar with iRacing, the dynamic track models track heat and track rubber exactly where these guys are driving. So every time these guys drive by, they are putting heat into that track, they're putting rubber into the track, and when it gets hot enough, it is going to make you want to kind of search around and get some grippier pavement, and perhaps that's what these guys are doing.
Yeah, iRacing does a great job with his service, Corey, and we all know that. That's why we're all here. And that's why they're top at what they do. Meanwhile, the 12 truck and the 38 truck side by side, 38's going to let him go, I think.
Yeah, he let him go, and he let him go by a bunch. He actually probably cost himself about 0.3 of a second in doing so. So he must think that the 12 Thomas is the better machine right now. And we'll see with 27 laps to go if indeed the 12 can do anything with the 14 of Fenelson, who is up front by about 1.8 seconds and has led 41 laps of this race. Only other race leaders so far have been Shane Tarrant, who's led 3 laps, Thomas Bressie, who's led 5 laps, Tyler Hensley has led 2, and Casey Shue has led 1. So the race has been in full command of the number 14 machine, but it's by no means over.
So, looking back in the pack now, everyone seems to be all spread out here.
Okay, Drew, let's kind of go for a little bit of a full field rundown now while we have the time. The 14 machine of Michael Fenlison is your leader. Walker Thomas in second. Close quarters behind him is Shane Tarrant. Thomas Bressie in the fourth position. Tyler Hensley in fifth. Bradley Wilson in sixth. Timothy Moore in seventh. Robert Kinney in eighth. Patrick McClure in ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is Casey Shue. You want to finish it out, Brandon?
Let me pull it up.
Bid number 11 is Barry Labosco. 12th is Rusty Capel. 13 is Kyle Zimmer. Back on track. 20 laps down is Cody Tabor. Corey Blevins is kind of indefinitely out of this race right now, and completely out in 16th is Jonathan Wall.
You threw me under the spot there, Corey. I wasn't prepared.
Well, I thought you had your stuff up, but apparently you didn't. But we worked together. We got through it. Up front here, that lead is now 2 seconds, but these guys are just duking it out for second place as if they're swapping to Talladega style to save their radiators here. Every lap, it's a new driver up front. Walker Thomas was up front, and now Shane Tarrant's up front. So let's see what Shane Tarrant can do. That lead is down to about 1.5 seconds. So I don't know if they're what they're doing. There's, like I said, they're swapping as if this is a plate track here. But 38 is making some headway on the 14 car, but it's 24 laps, enough to get that gap down and make a battle of it.
Well, that's a good question, Corey, and I think they may need that 14 to Finlayson to make a mistake here in order to catch him and to be able to get around him. It may be close, though, if these guys are getting enough time.
And how about another 10th? It looks like that last time by on our primetime battle graphic. Let's see what the variance was here. It looks like Tarrant was actually about 3/10 faster that last lap than your leader of Fenlison. Let's get a reading this time by 34.19 for your leader to a 33.95. So that's another about 1.5 tenths there. So there is some headway being made here. We may have a battle for the lead shaping up before the end of this race. Let's hope so as broadcasters.
Well, the 38 definitely pulled away from the 12 machine, and obviously gaining ground on your leader in the 14 truck, so he may be one to look out for tonight.
There you go. Give a little race summary thus far. We've completed 58 of our total 80 laps on the schedule for today. 6 lead changes, only 1 caution for 3 laps. This has been a clean and green race thus far, minus the 1 caution.
Yeah, we had
car in the grass on the back straightaway is Kyle Zimmer. I think he was just letting the leaders go with extra space, but he was running in the grass on the back straightaway there and headed toward the pits with a heavily damaged machine.
Yeah, he did make severe contact with our inside wall, lifted the back of the truck right off the ground, and I think his night is pretty much done. That is if he did use this quick fix already. Do they get one in this league, Corey?
I do not believe so, but I've been wrong before.
Well, maybe they don't. I do not remember, actually.
Kind of watching here, we're kind of following the 20 here, watching his impact. He is coming off of turn 2, and a little bit of wall, and that just drove him into that inside fence.
No quick fix, Corey, I don't think. His truck is still pretty good damaged.
Pretty good damage.
English is hard. We all know that. This is a saying on this channel, and it always will be.
But we got to go back up front, and that lead, which was, I don't know, what, 1.4 seconds, is now down to about 1 second. So do the math. I think we're going to have a battle here with less than 10 laps to go. Or so at the rate it goes, that may be the case. So Fenlison, I don't know if he's saving his tires to make something left before the 38 gets there, or if he's using what he has, but he's going to have to turn it into another gear because he's going to have a battle on his hands.
Another question would be, if we get a caution, Corey, and these guys end up having to come down pit road, who will have the better truck then? The 14 is good on the restarts, but cannot quite hold the lead when the green flag stays in the air.
That is very true. Sometimes, like I said, these guys, I believe, are running open setup machines, so a lot of times you may set up your truck to run better on those first 10 laps if you're kind of expecting a caution-filled race, but in the case of Shane Tarrant, where he obviously set that machine up for the long haul, at this juncture in the race, that seems to be the call.
Yeah, absolutely, and don't look now, the 12 car is right back on the rear bumper at the 38.
If this was the battle for the lead, we'd have a record of lead changes today. These guys have been going at it all race. I don't recall them making a scrap on each other's machines, as clean as it gets, but very aggressive. But I also don't know what happened, but that 1 second lead is now 2, so obviously Tarrant had a really bad lap there or something.
So these guys have been fighting hard all day for the second position. Meanwhile, 14 has been out front most of this time. So these guys look like they're going to have another lap truck to maneuver through as well.
Yeah, I'm very curious as to what happened to Tarrant there. He must have had a really bad lap, but ever since that lap has ended, he has kind of put a couple tenths into that lead, but he lost so much time. I don't know if now he's going to be able to close that gap without the help of the yellow.
Yeah, if we got a yellow flag, Corey, this would get really interesting as we're closing in towards the end of this race. We're about to be 67 laps into this thing, or we are now 67 laps into this thing, and you know, if we got a yellow now, it would be just about 9 to go when we took the green, so that would make things very close.
Yeah, it looks like Tarrant may have used what he had, because the lead, he's having a couple good laps, but all in all, he is dropping off the 14 machine, so unless something drastic happens, I believe at least your top 3 are kind of stabilized out for position. But as we go through the field here, trying to see what else is going on. Whoa, the 25 got extremely loose there off 3 and 4. He kind of clipped the apron. No harm, no foul. He was able to save it, but that must have been a wild ride for him.
So these guys, the field is incredibly spread out. These guys are, I'm surprised from what we've seen the last few weeks with these guys, even at the tracks that are hard to stay side by side, these guys somehow manage to do it. So I'm a little bit surprised that these guys aren't fighting a little bit harder for positions than they are, but I think more concerned about using their stuff up.
Yeah, something we also didn't talk about was the weather here. 74 degrees in the air.
Whoa, 38 goes for a ride. He spins it.
That's the caution.
Flag is in the air.
Now, he was able to save it, wow. And he's able to get going, and he only lost 2 positions. But obviously, he didn't want to be the caution. He just wanted one. Let's kind of go back here on Primetime Replay, and we'll go on board. And kind of watch him here get loose off the 2, and again, just another painless, little selfless, just harmless spin here on the back straightaway, but enough to bring that caution flag on the speedway. I don't think there's really going to be any strategy here on pit road. I expect forward fuel from everybody with as long as that run was. These guys pitted on about lap 50, so it's about a, what, 21 lap run or so. I don't expect 2 tires from anybody, but as I've said, I've been wrong.
Trying to catch the rear of the field here now before they go in. He wants to give himself the most amount of time that he can to try to gain positions here off pit road, I believe.
Watching these machines come down pit lane, we'll watch it from the pit exit cones and see who is the first machine off pit lane. Is that the 83 machine staying out, or is he off the lead lap? The 83 on my watch, is on the lead lap, and he did stay out. Confirm. I don't know if you can confirm that for me, Brandon.
I believe so.
14 is your first off pit lane. Now let's see if indeed the 83 of Cooper is... why do I keep wanting to call him Bradley Cooper? I don't know why. Bradley Wilson, let's see in the 83 if he indeed is going to stay out for this, or if he's kind of just going to lead a lap here. As of this far, he's going to go for it. Which in doing so will... it'll throw, actually, let's go back here. I see the number 12 of Walker Thomas beat the 14 off pit lane there. And according to my fancy dancy graphics over here, the 12 machine took 2 tires on that pit stop.
The 83 looks to be a lap down, Corey. Him and 20 probably looking to take the wave around.
Alright. My graphic here did not show. Well, I probably read it wrong. But that solves that battle. But as we did say, the 12, it did take 2 tires. So Walker Thomas moved him to the lead, albeit on older left side tires, and older left side tires than Shane Tarrant was successfully using earlier in this race.
So 38 truck will be given an EOL penalty and sent to the back of the field for bringing out that caution. But this shapes up a very interesting situation between the 12 and the 14.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do expect the 14 to get by, but it's going to put the 12 on the inside, the 14 to the outside, with Bresci in the 25 on the inside line. I don't know if, depending how good of a start he gets, maybe he'll be able to force that 14 to lose a position by being stuck on the outside potentially.
Yeah, maybe. I think that would be his best chance. Of course, him being on 2 tires, I don't think it's the most favorable situation to be in, but well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm still putting my money on the 14, but as we've seen in real NASCAR and in iRacing, anything is possible with these late race restarts, so...
12 takes the high side there for the restart.
And he did that, as we know, turns 1 and 2 with that higher banking and on the higher lane is going to make it really hard for the 14 to get that traction on the bottom, but maybe that 4 tires will do it, but we're going to wait for that rough pace car to take that left-hand turn, and there it is, waiting for the 12 to get on the loud pedal to get this race underway with 7 laps to go. Here he comes, we're waiting, and there it is! A very even restart from everybody up front, but it looks like the 12 got a good shift there, and that's going to give the 14 the advantage, but the 12...
almost 3 wide, 14 goes around! iRacing netcode strikes again, and the 14 suffers heavy damage to the right, or the left side of that race truck.
Oh my goodness.
Now, we talked about it Monday night in the Northeast Racers broadcast, folks. iRacing netcode, basically the servers have to predict if the car is where the car will be, and every once in a while it glitches, and it thought the car was where it wasn't. So with that, the 14 gets spun around from...
Well, Brandon, I mean, I don't know what your end looked like, but we're watching that on slow-mo here, and from my end, that looked like authentic contact with the 25.
From my end, it was...
on the stream, I watched it on the camera. Let me try to watch it on the stream replay too, but from what I can see anyways, and again, everyone's computer is a little bit different, from my end, that actually looked like authentic contact.
Yeah, I think they would have made contact either way, but on my end, there was about an inch between those two
trucks. If you watch the
trucks.
stream, Brandon, I think you may see what I saw. But regardless of how it happened, it's still catastrophic. Not quite catastrophic, but that's going to take the 14 and probably take his chance for a win out of this.
So Hardline Racing League officials calling incident under review right now. So see what happens. Now, this all depends. You were talking about the different systems, Corey. I saw it as netcode. You saw it as general contact. If the officials see it as contact over netcode or netcode over contact, the penalties could be different. They could vary, so we'll see what the call is here. Not that I think it matters too much at this point, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I was trying to find another view of that replay, but sometimes it's hard digging back too far into replays here. But hopefully you got a little bit of a good view of that on replay. That kind of shakes stuff up a little bit now. We have the 12 machine up front, at least for the time being. And we don't know if any penalty is going to come for that, whether in race or points afterwards, what have you. But he's, as it stands, the leader with Tyler Hensley in the 46 and second. Someone we've not talked about on the top end of the top 5 all race.
Now, if they call it a general contact incident, Corey, the 25 car will be put out of contention and be sent to the back of the pack here. So,
and I do apologize because I blame the 12 for that. It was the 25. I forgot what number it was, and I called out the wrong one. Walker Thomas is good. Walker Thomas was in the clear. It was the 25 that was kind of the, I don't want to use the word culprit, but one of the
cause.
Yes.
But no penalties have been given out yet here, Corey, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, and we'll see how many laps this pace car gives us. If those lights go out, we will have a green-white checker. If we get one more lap of lights on the pace car, it's going to be a one-lap shootout. All depends what that David Hoot, the virtual David Hoots, and that rough pace car want to do. Let's see what it does as it hits the line. Does it give us those? Does it give us the white flag? Well, the one to go. No, it doesn't. So we're going to most likely have a one-lap shootout. You may see on the graphic here, on our ticker here, Air Movement Fabrications is listed here. They are a partner with Primetime. Brandon, do you want to give that plug because you say it a lot better than I do?
Yeah.
I know, I'm throwing you on the fly here.
Air Movement and Fabrications, Nottingham's choice for ventilation, custom signs, custom designs, repair, and all things metal. Visit them online at airmovefabs.co.uk and find them on Facebook. Air Movement and Fabrications, an official partner with Primetime Racing TV.
You say that so well.
I try. I love doing those.
You want your commercial listed on Primetime TV, get in touch with Brandon Krutz.
If
get in touch with me and I'll stutter on it.
If anyone's looking to become a partner with Primetime Racing TV, go ahead and give us an email at primetimeracingtv@gmail.com and we'll get back to you.
Yep, summertime broadcasts are slightly harder to come by, as I mean, with summertime a lot of people aren't around, myself included, but we will do the best we can to schedule you, even if for a one-off or for a season. Just let us know. We will work with you as best we can. But here it comes. We have 2 laps to go on the board, and that pace car is going to turn into pit lane. And in iRacing, we don't have, unlike in NASCAR, where the white flag can be halted by a caution at any point. Once that white flag is out, this race will finish under green flag, and these guys will have to take the checkers to finish this race. So
So no penalties being given out for that last incident either, Corey, it looks like. So these guys gonna race it out here up front. The 12 car has been stronger than the 46 all night, but maybe
those two tires.
Yeah.
Take them down, Brandon, for the final time tonight.
So we're just waiting for the roof pace car to pull off of the racetrack, makes that hard left turn down in a pit road, waiting for the green flag to fly here for the final restart of the night. These guys waiting on a long straightaway. Green flag is in the air, 12 cars on the gas. 46 didn't quite get the start that he wanted, I don't think, or maybe it was on purpose. I don't know at this point.
The contact with the 14 and the 25, whether that's intentional, I don't know for his payback, but the 12 machine, contact going on in the back of the field here. But I think a little bit of payback may be going on there, but regardless, the 12 machine is coming through 3 and 4. Walker Thomas here on the white flag lap, coming off turn 4 for the final time. And that number 12 machine of Walker Thomas is going to take the checkered flag and win Hardline Racing with Fast Track Sims at Gateway.
So the 12 Walker Thomas gets the win here, and the 14 performs some blatantly obvious retaliation on the 25 truck. I don't think he even really tried to hide that one, so that may be something else that'll be under review at the end of this race.
You know how night racing is, it brings out the tempers in people. It sometimes, even if it's not a short track, there's still some stuff, some shenanigans going on in the back straight a bit. But regardless, we give our congratulations to today's winner, Walker Thomas in the 12. We'll be back with some post-race interviews after a quick commercial break. Stay with us.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
All right, we are back here on Primetime Racing TV, ready for post-race interviews. This is the post-race show, brought to you by Movement Fabrications.
I didn't know we had a post-race show sponsorship. There we go.
I made it up just now. How do you like it?
There you go. So let's bring the number 10 machine of Robert Kenny into the booth with us. Robert, or do I call you Bob?
Robert's fine.
All right. Talk about your third place finish, man. We didn't really see you too much there in the top 5 there, but it looks like with the way cautions and kind of some shenanigans, if you will, played out there, it gave you a podium finish. Kind of talk about your race.
Yeah, well, race went pretty fine. Qualified for top 3, top 4, stayed top 5 until I kind of got punted out of the way. Got a bit bit sideways, fell down to the bottom half of the top 10, but yeah, was looking to at least get a top 5 off of fuel mileage before that last caution, but with that last caution, anything's going to happen with one lap shootout.
Yeah, talk about how the track conditions were. We saw a lot of self-spins, especially kind of through 1 and 2, especially on the exit there. Was that a problem that you had to fight at all during the race?
Me personally, loose off wasn't really an issue. It was more getting tight in the center of the corners, so I'd really back the corner off to try to get that run off like everybody was trying to, except they were just trying to arc it more than me. Yeah, track was a bit tight, setup was a bit tight, but you're gonna have to deal with that.
10-4, man. Well, you made do. You had a good run, and you made it a pretty good run with the way stuff shaked out. Anyone you want to give a shout out to here today?
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to my Evil Sky Motorsports teammates, Shane Terrian, Michael Finlayson, and Walker Thomas. They were just, I'm just glad that they let me race with them on their team.
All right, 10-4, brother. Congrats on your 3rd place finish. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
All right, let's pull up your runner-up finisher. We got Tyler Hensley. Tyler, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on, guys?
So you managed to steal a 2nd place finish out of that one. What happened there at the end of that race?
I don't know if "still's" the right word. I had a pretty good truck. I started in the back by choice just because I knew it was going to be chaotic. But as far as the end of the race, I think it got really out of hand really quick. I think everything that's going on within the last 10 laps there is really childish, honestly.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of wrecking going on there, a little bit of bumping, a little bit of shoving. Some may call it Rubbins Racing, but turned into something a little bit more, and I think some of these guys got heated out there. What was going on in your mirror there on the white flag?
Honestly, just going back to Kentucky, I really don't know what happened in the mirror. I did go back and watch the replay as soon as we got done, but to me, it's just childish. It's stuff like that should be, we should talk about it afterward. We shouldn't have to do that on the track, but I guess sometimes it is what it is.
Well, let's talk about your race a little bit here. You said that you had a good truck all night. What were tires like? What was track condition like? And overall, how do you think your race went?
Honestly, my truck was really good all night. As the run went on, it got better. I never really got super tight. It did tighten up over the run, but I never got just ungodly tight. As far as the track's concerned, it changed really the whole night. It got fun to me, honestly. I was able to run some really unique lines, and to me that was cool.
Well, that's awesome, and you definitely proved that you had a decent truck after getting around everything and, pulling up towards the front. We were watching you for a little while there. You managed to come up with 2nd place. Is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Really wish some of these guys could put everything aside until after the fact. A lot of people had some good runs ruined just because people can't check their egos. So it's just one of those things, I guess. But thank you guys for broadcasting the race. You guys do a phenomenal job, and we'll see you next week.
All right, awesome. Congratulations on your 2nd place, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
And now we'll bring in the victor, Walker Thomas, into the booth with us. Walker Thomas, get a copy.
Gotcha.
All right, talk about your race, man. You seem to have a really good battle with the 38 of Shane Tarrant for a long time there, back and forth for the whole race, and then some pit strategy got you the lead. Kind of talk about your race there in a nutshell and how that played out for you.
Yeah, I have a fast Evil Controller Sundra. My 2 teammates, we were the best 3 out there tonight. Mike, unfortunately, had a little bit of a incident there on that last restart, but we showed speed. I played the strategy game, which seems to come in my favor a lot in this league, and I worked it again tonight, and it just worked out for me.
Yeah, so how did with those, I think you had about 20 laps on those tires when you made that 2-tire call for that last shootout. Were you worried at all about how the handling was or was going to be, or did you kind of have an idea of how that 2 tires was going to react?
It was kind of a guessing game. We went, I think, like 30, 40 laps. The left sides weren't too bad, so I figured it wouldn't be awful, but if we did the 7 laps that we should have ran on that last run, I probably wouldn't have been able to keep the lead. I just don't think they would have held up that good.
Yeah, 10-4, man. Talk about how was that battle with Shane? Was that were you having fun in that battle, or was that kind of frustrating there? Because it seemed like neither of you at that juncture in the race could seem to prevail. It seemed to be just kind of cat and mouse for probably like 30 laps.
Yeah, it's always fun racing with those guys, especially Shane and Mike. But me and Shane, we both kind of knew, like Mike was pretty far out. We weren't really going to catch him, so there at the end, it was kind of, fuel was a little close, so we kind of battled out. One of us would be saving, then one of us would be going hard, so it kind of made it a little tough that we were right there by each other, but I don't know, it's always fun racing with Shane, though.
Yeah, 10-4, man. We had fun watching it. Anyone you want to give a shout out to while you're on the air with us today?
Just my Evil and Sky teammates. Those guys do a heck of a job. We work great as a team. So I'll give Justin, Bronson, Tom, Shane, Mike, Bob. I think that's everybody.
All right, man. Thanks for talking to us, and congrats again on your win.
Thanks.
All right, Brandon, let's go down our finishing order here at the Gateway Motorsports Park for your Hardline Racing League Fast Track Sims Truck Series. Hard for me to say. With your victory here today is the 12 machine of Walker Thomas, who we just spoke to. Tyler Hensley at second. Robert Kenny in third. Shane Tarrant in fourth. Timothy Moore in fifth. Michael Fenlison, the dominator in today's race with that late race festivities, as we'll call it nicely, with sixth. Thomas Bresci seventh. Patrick McClure in eighth. Rusty Capel ninth. And Baron Labosco rounding out your top 10, Brandon.
11th, Bradley Wilson. 12th, Casey Shue. 13th, Kyle Zimmer. 14th, Cody Tabor. 15th is Corey Belvins. And rounding out the field is Jonathan Wall.
That is your finishing order here today. We want to thank you here on Primetime Racing TV for tuning in and watching us. Hopefully you've liked and subscribed to our channel. We want to apologize again for last week's broadcast we gave you, but we were hoping that you enjoyed this week's broadcast of the Hardline Racing League. Bringing you the series every Wednesday. We won't be bringing next week's race only because of on the 4th of July, and I won't be around, but we hope to catch you soon here on Primetime TV. Anything you want to add, Brandon?
No, I think you about covered everything, Corey.
All right, so again, I'm Corey Silva.
And I'm Brandon Krutz.
And thank you for watching here on Primetime TV.